So our next meeting is at the high school, and it is next week because of all of our snow days, which is okay. We can be pretty flexible. It should work out since there's less interest currently in Writers Workshop at the secondary level than elementary level. I put an email into Beth, our principal, and she said we can take the first half of the day, the second half of the day, or the whole day. We can be there to do what we need for us as well as for teachers. She just let us know that there is no meeting space for us, so we'll be in the library. Currently, I've only heard back from one teacher, and it's a language arts teacher, and she's signed up to see an observation in my classroom, and it can be my self-teaching, or I thought one of maybe the middle school teachers could teach my kiddos. And I think it'll work out really well because we're at the beginning of a new unit. We're doing expository writing, so that should be fine.
Do you think it would be good if it was somebody else? That way they because they could come see you whenever they wanted, or do you feel like you'd want to do it?
Actually, I really like the idea of having a middle school teacher do it. I think it shows that we're unified as a team. I know when we've gone to other buildings, we kind of feel like we've been preaching to our friends, and if they hear it from somebody else, it might click in.
Yeah.
That way they see that it's not just a couple teachers doing it, it's a lot of them. So once I get that data together, I'll be the ones corresponding with you versus the teachers, and I think that will make it easier to manage anyhow. The other thing that we're going to do is Beth asked if we could open up the day to more than just language arts teachers, and we invite history and science teachers, but not to do observations of us or of us watching them. They're just going to get collab time with us. Yeah. So that's kind of what the day is going to look like. So we should be about half and half. My guess is I would recommend that we're just there all day long. We don't change location. Yeah. And then today we make our agenda for what we want to accomplish at Summer Institute.
Mm-hmm. So do we want to spend the afternoon?
Oh,
with observations and things in the morning, and then the afternoon have it open, or?
I really think if I can try to push it to one or the other, I will. Mm-hmm. That way it's easier. But Beth has asked that we try to reach teachers most during their plan time. Mm-hmm. She's going to count the time that they work with us as their CCT time. So hopefully that's a little bit of a carrot that will motivate some of them to come and see us.
CCT? Yeah, I was going to ask.
They're Common Core teaching collaboration time. So we're required to meet with Beth once a week. In a planning meeting, and so essentially if they come and meet with us, that'll replace their meeting. So we're hoping that maybe that will pull in a couple friends.
So it'll still be optional.
It is optional. But the way that I worded the email, it didn't seem like it was optional until the very last sentence. So when I had Julie look over it, so hopefully that will make people see that in the high school level it's a little bit more serious than they think it is. We try to be really political with how we worded that. But I honestly don't know if we'll have a big chunk of time and a big chunk of time. Like Beth said, she wants it to be mostly during their plan time, but we'll just get to them when we can get to them and as needed. I told the high school teachers that I'll have a schedule to them of the day, so they'll know if they need to provide sub notes, and I'll CC you guys on that so you can know what your jobs are, and I'll try to CC any middle school teachers before Tuesday.
Do you think we'll get more comm arts teachers?
I hope so. I presented at the last 2 late starts over a writer's workshop, and I kind of sold the idea that we were coming at both of those. Okay. So I'm hoping that by doing that, more of them will come. I think they've started to get a little nervous about it, simply because after my second presentation, I got an email from almost every member in my department saying, use this source for Writers Workshop, or I've tried this. Is it Writers Workshop? Or I'm doing Writers Workshop. They're really not yet doing Writers Workshop. They're doing Writers Workshop, just not the Green Valley School District Writers Workshop. And so I was very vague in my email responses back, and I said, oh, we'd be really excited to talk to you about that when we come to the high school.
That would be
could you follow up then? And
Yes.
say, let's make a schedule an appointment with somebody for collab?
Yeah, that's a
think
good
that's-
idea.
I mean,
thought
I
of
think
that.
that's perfect. If you've got that information, then they don't have to think about why would I want these people to come.
Sure. I will do that then.
What did you suggest?
She's got emails from different teachers
Five.
after her presentation for Late Start saying that they think they're doing writer's workshop or they're doing this.
Okay.
And so, and she said she was vague in her confirming if that's what they're doing or not. So we can use those for our collab with those teachers.
Yeah, I could print those out, and I could also maybe fire them back an email just saying this would be a great talking point
Yeah.
for collab time on the 14th. We hope you sign up.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I told them that they must reply by tomorrow afternoon. So again, that way you guys can have time to plan if we need to. But if there's any lessons, it's going to be over expository writing at the beginning, and I can get it together if we need to, whatever we need to do.
Heather, can you tell me again, the science and history teachers, what, if we did meet with them during their collab time, the science and history teachers, what do you think that will they name what they want us to talk about? Are we gonna bring something that they don't realize that they need?
I specified in the email to them that to let us know when they'd like to meet, for about how long they think they'd like to meet, and what they specifically want to talk about, so we can come prepared.
Okay.
At the late starts, the things that they were interested in. I'm not strong at writing. How do I teach writing? Do I have to write in front of the students? What's a good time frame for a DBQ type essay? There are like specific formats that students have to have on AP exams. A database question. There's also something called an FRQ, which is a free response question. For those of you who do like constructed response writing, a DBQ is the exact same thing as a constructed response. It's just the first sentence is different. And an FRQ is totally different than constructed response writing, but it's heavily structured writing. How do we practice that, or how can we parallel what you're doing in language arts with these forms? That's a question that they've been asking. Biology teachers have writing prompts with multiple questions within the prompt. So teaching students how to break down those questions so they know what they have to answer. So essentially just the reading of a prompt, which I know I talked with Jackie before about how they look at those questions, and I think you were talking about like a map deconstruction. So that's kind of the stuff they're interested in.
Okay.
Essentially, they have lots of writing, and they don't know how to make it better, and they're hesitant to write in front of them. Some of the teachers, not all of them, and they want to parallel a little bit of what we're doing. And I've been very clear to them, like, you can do mini lessons, so short lessons about writing, and then practice, but you're not going to want to embrace the whole Grand Valley School District workshop philosophy and components. Like, that will not really work out, I don't think. Do you guys agree? Like a science, like, you guys have
I
worked.
think this sounds good. I think this sounds really good.
We do that in our
Yeah.
building.
Okay.
We've been paired up with the communication arts teachers in our building. We're specifically paired up with the social studies teachers in our building. And the point is that they should be doing, they have been requested to do more reading and writing through their content. So we've collaborated with them several times to tell them kind of some things that we do, just very
Strategies, right?
small groundwork, laying it, because honestly, they're a little bit freaked out by it, because they've taught a certain way, and now they're being asked. I mean, this comes from central office. It's not our principal. Central office has asked that they teach in a different way, so that reading and writing is hit in all cores. Social studies is where they're focusing at, and so they had Jackie and I work with them.
So to clarify, workshop model for comm arts or ELA classes, but taking strategies from ELA classes and putting those into the reading and writing that they're doing in other content areas, correct?
Right.
Okay, I'm just making sure that I haven't been selling the wrong product. So.
No, no.
Cool, so that's kind of a little bit what to expect. You'll probably see something from me by the end of the week.
Okay.
Sorry it's so short last minute. I wanted to wait till we met today just because
Oh, it's
I didn't
fine.
know if anything would have
That's not-
changed.